What's up, everyone, and welcome to the very first GrownUp Pixels podcast. This is episode 1, and my name is Mario. No, I'm not trying to give you a pseudo video game name. I'm not trying to be silly. My name really is Mario, and this just so happens to be video game related. A little bit about me. I've been playing video games since the 80s, starting with the NES. Ever since then, I've been playing non-stop. In addition to playing video games, I also enjoy video game music. As we get into more episodes, I'm going to talk more about my video game history and all that good stuff. So I've been procrastinating on making this podcast for the longest time, maybe well over a year. So I figure it's either now or never, right? What is GrownUp Pixels? GrownUp Pixels was originally created to document my own video game life. Over the years, it's been difficult for me to preserve all of my video games, like those big rooms you see sometimes on YouTube that collectors have. They're so awesome. I wish I had one, but I don't, and that's my reality. So I would think of ways to kind of preserve, because I like games and I enjoy preserving those fun memories that I had with them. So what I did is I started just recording and started just doing stuff around games, and that's basically what it's been since then. So over the years, though, my vision for what GrownUp Pixels has changed. What it really is now is it's about creating community around people that enjoy video games. More specifically, people that grew up in the 80s and 90s that are now adults. Of course, everyone is welcome that likes games. I'm not excluding any year. It's not your fault you were born in 2005 or 2010 or 1960. It doesn't matter. But I just relate more to kids in the 80s and 90s because that's when I was a kid. Back then, playing video games was considered nerdy. It was the nerdiest thing you can do. So it's funny how things have changed since then, and now video games are considered a mainstream form of entertainment. So now many of us have tons of responsibilities, and we just don't get to play games as much as we used to. But we still enjoy keeping up with the news, music, watching videos, listening to podcasts, and passing down our love for games with the younger generation. Not sure if I did a good job explaining what GrownUp Pixels is about. If I didn't, get in contact with me and we can talk about it. So what's the format going to be like? As of right now, I don't have an official laid out format for the podcast, but I was thinking of a couple of different segments in no particular order, but this is the order I have laid out right now. So I'm going to answer questions from last week, and I'm going to be answering a question that I'm going to be giving you more about at the end of the show. What I'm currently playing, news, Pixel Perfect Moments is a segment that I made up, and it's basically about those awesome moments that you remember playing with your buddy, playing a fighting game, or those moments that you're like, what? Did this just happen? Pixel Perfect Moments is a segment that I'm going to try to get going. And then the last segment I have is a question to the community. How often will these episodes come out? I think for the time being, the podcast is going to be a weekly podcast. I'm currently a one-man show. Once I get things in check and get into a routine, I might be able to do 2 episodes a week. I'm really not sure how much work is involved with this podcast, so I'm going to wait and see. And the last segment, question to the community. The question I have this week is, what was your first exposure to video games? Now, what I mean by that is, can you remember the very first moment you learned about games? Was it from watching TV? Was it at a friend's house? Was it somebody talking about it on the schoolyard and then you're like, what's a video game? So what was your first exposure to games? How was it? I will be answering that question next week. At the beginning, it'll be the first segment. You can check out the GrownUp Pixels Facebook page. It's just GrownUp Pixels on Facebook. It's a page. The YouTube channel by the same name. Check out any of those platforms and answer the question, and then I will definitely make sure to put it on the next episode if I get any responses at all. Yeah, guys, so this is the first episode. I know it's really short, but I want it to be like an introductory episode. If you know someone that is into podcasts or is into video games or is someone that just likes to listen to something new, share it with them. Let me know what you think of this first episode. Does it have potential? Does it not? I really, really enjoy talking about games, and I would really like to know what you guys think of this first episode. This way I can, change it and, just make it better. This podcast is for us, right? That being said, this is Mario. This was the first episode, GrownUp Pixels podcast. And I think that's it. See you guys next time. Peace.